ridiculous that I didn't even think it was real.
Well, no, you can see. Look how popular Trump is on your campus. How does that make you feel?
Ah, yes, college kids. What are you gonna do with them, eh? As young as I am, looking back at my life choices, I can already tell that I do not regret not going to college, for a few different reasons. One, they are way too expensive to go in. Most of them, anyway. Two, by the time you're done with college, you'll get a degree that you'll more than likely never use. And three, many of these colleges have proved themselves time and time again to be nothing more than places of indoctrination for young adults like myself, for their downright insane leftist ideologies. And when you know it, we have even more proof of that right here with Charlie Kirk, partnered up with Vivek Ramaswamy. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I mean, it's a weird name to me. Anyway, so I'm sure we're all well aware by now of this video that came out recently from Charlie Kirk, gotten 4.2 million views. Did Hater try to flash Charlie Kirk to get him banned on YouTube? Yeah, that's how low these college kids are stooping, but then again, you gotta remember that there were a bunch of college kids in Chaz and Chop in Seattle, Washington, so what do you even expect at this point? Before we jump into this video, as I always request you to do, make sure you subscribe, hit that thumbs up button and notification bell down below, and share this with your friends all over the platform as much as you can. All that out of the way, let's take a look at how this went down, shall we?
Do you feel proud of yourself for debating college kids who are unprepared to speak in front of an audience like yourself?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hold on.
What? Not prepared to speak in front of it? Then why would you even bother? If you don't think you're prepared to speak to Charlie Kirk or anybody else, why would you even bother, lady? My goodness, do they not hear themselves when they speak? I mean, really.
You're 30 years old. We can agree you're 30 years old, right?
What has age got to do with
Do you
it?
think that's a little bit silly?
Are you a voter?
I am a voter. I'm a
So
registered
I
voter.
vote and you vote. So I'm talking to voters of this country that will determine the future of Western civilization.
Thank you.
That's what I'm doing here today. Yeah?
Gotta love Charlie Kirk.
Wait, hold on. How is it any different than a professor talking to you?
Then a professor talking to you? Who are you?
Well, important enough for you to come up to a microphone.
Ooh.
Actually, when I first saw this ad, I thought it was like an improv comedy thing. It looked so ridiculous that I didn't even think it was real.
Well, no, you could see. Look how popular Trump is on your campus. How does that make you feel?
Yeah. Well, how many?
That's not comedy.
Hold on.
That
I
is
want
a
to.
five-alarm fire for Kamala Harris because she's probably
How many Trump hats do we have here? I'm sorry.
popular. Trump is on your campus. How does that make you feel?
Okay, let me see this. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's at least 10 Trump hats in this rally here. That's really cool. I like that. Anyway, sorry for the interruption. I'll try not to interrupt anymore.
That's not comedy. That is a five-alarm fire for Kamala Harris because she's probably going to lose Pennsylvania.
Look,
But no, I just want to be clear.
There's another one
is
behind
there
him.
something wrong with talking to voters?
no, there's nothing wrong with talking.
Well, that's
to
what we're
voters.
doing here today. It's an open
I
mic,
think that you push a dangerous agenda.
such as.
Your stance on abortion rights, for example.
Here we go.
Ugh.
Okay, so
Let me ask a question. What is your name?
Gene.
Gene. And what is your understanding of the current Republican Party's stance on federal intervention in abortion?
Well, I know that they want to bring it back to the states, right?
So it sounds like you do know that the Republican Party's current stance on abortion is they're against a federal ban on abortion.
I do
And we're
understand
talking about
that,
a
yes.
presidential election as the
Yes.
important election that we're talking about here.
I understand that, yes.
Great. So, again, I think this open dialogue is great. I think it's great you're here challenging Charlie, and I think it's great that he's willing to travel campuses across this country to talk to the next generation. We need more conversation. Now, where's the disagreement, though, on content? Because you could criticize style or why you're talking to people
Listen,
or dunk on someone personally, but where do you actually disagree with
I
the
agree
substance?
with the way that you edit content and specifically frame it so that people look bad talking to you.
Doesn't
the way
look
that
very
you
edited to
edit your
me.
Content,
we post unedited content.
Yeah.
Let me just ask you one thing though, because personal insults can fly in all directions. Where is an area where you have a disagreement with the conservative movement, with Donald Trump, with Charlie Kirk, perhaps with myself? I was a presidential candidate last year. I think we need to talk about that more in the open, and the more we do, the stronger our country is going to be. We got a long line of people, but I want to hear from you one substantive area where you have an authentic disagreement, and I'd be glad to address it. I'm sure Charlie would too.
Just in
anything
political.
relating to any political topic where you have a disagreement. Let's air it.
Okay. I disagree with some of the laws that are being pushed in Congress that are against the LGBTQ community.
Such as?
And the trans community.
Okay, so let's talk about that. I'm going to give you my view, and then I want to hear yours.
Okay.
My view is that if you're a fully grown adult, 18 or above, you're free to live how you want, dress how you want, marry who you want if you want, if you're over the age of 18.
I agree.
But you are not free to indoctrinate children in schools who are not yet of the age of consent. You are not free, just as you're a 17-year-old or a 15-year-old can't get a tattoo on their own, I don't think that you should be able to go or
sounds like common sense to me.
Until the age of 18. And so the lines that I draw here is that men are free to claim to be women and swim in swimming pools. You're not free to claim trophies in a women's sports competition. You're not free to enter a women's locker room. You're not free to change a language, and you're not free to actually indoctrinate our children who are under the age of 5 in schools.
Thank you.
Do we agree on the fact that adults should be able to live freely while still treating children differently? If so, we're on the same side of this issue.
Listen, I agree with the majority of what you said. However, I don't think that you're understanding the implications of the laws that are trying to be passed.
He was running for president in 2024. What are you talking about?
Long line behind you, but my only ask is, forget the personal attacks or the stylistic attacks. Focus on substance. The more we debate that, the stronger we're going to be as a country. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I don't think you're focusing on substance, though. That's the issue.
Hold on. But he intentionally tried to provoke substance out of you.
Yeah.
And you said, well, I'm worried about some laws Congress should pass. I have to ask, what laws are you talking about?
Oh, yep. There it is. Put it away, lady.
I'm sorry, I'm very nervous. But
put it away.
This is what you do. This is what you do. You take people and you put them under the spotlight, and you.
Well, hold on. I didn't ask you to come up here. You voluntarily came to the front of the line. You didn't have to do that.
You're purposely antagonizing people on campus, asking people to come up by spreading your weird agenda.
How? What agenda is that? I'm confused, though.
So, Charlie, I'll
look
say
at her
this.
face.
Well,
He saw the look on her face, right? It just... She was not liking the fact that she was getting owned by Charlie Kirk. Just look at her. So it's that last part right there that went crazy viral from Charlie Kirk, where that college kid decided to partially flash part of her, let's just say, an intimate part of her body. That was not only very petty of her, but that was also extremely sinful. If you were to look at the New Testament, specifically Romans chapter 6 verse 13, it states, "Do not offer any part of yourself to sin as an instrument of wickedness, but rather offer yourselves to God as those who have been brought from death to life, and offer every part of yourself to Him as an instrument of righteousness." In other words, don't be flashing in public for your own personal gain. But if I'm being honest here, I wouldn't be surprised if this lady didn't even believe in God. I mean, she goes to college, for goodness sake. But perhaps I'm stereotyping on that regard. I pretty much gave most of my thoughts throughout this video. I mean, I did point out the fact that she said that this guy, Vivek, has no knowledge on what he's talking about. If he had no knowledge on what he was talking about, why would he be running for president? Before, of course, Donald Trump won the Republican nomination, but still. And of course, her at the beginning trying to say that it was weird that a 30-year-old man was trying to talk to early to mid-20-year-olds about politics. What does age have to do with it? Seriously. Like Charlie Kirk said, if you're a voter, then it's all the same. It should be all the same anyway. Whether you're 20 years old, 30 years old, 50, 70, whatever. Just seems like common sense to me. But maybe you guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure to go subscribe to Charlie Kirk if you somehow haven't done so already. Click on that thumbs up button and notification bell too as you click on that subscribe button down below. And always remember, CSO family, observe everything from a common sense perspective.